Imagine this for a moment. You wake up tomorrow morning. The sunlight is sneaking through the curtains. You stretch your arms and notice something different. You feel light, your mind is clear, your body is calm but strong. There's no heavy fog in your head. Your heart beats steady, your breath is easy, and deep inside, there's this quiet, almost unshakable confidence, the kind that whispers, "You're healthy, you're safe, you're in control." Now, what if I told you? There's just one single daily habit that could make this your reality, not a month from now, not a year from now, but starting from the very first day you commit to it? Think about it, just one thing. Not a long list of pills. Not some complicated diet you'll hate by next week. Not endless hours at the gym until your knees give up. Just one daily practice. Simple enough to fit into your routine, powerful enough to protect you from the very diseases that most people over 60 spend their lives fearing. I'm talking about the things we all worry about, even if we don't say it out loud: memory loss that steals our stories, heart problems that slow us down, cancer that shows up without warning. They're the shadows that follow us as we age. But here's the truth, those shadows don't have to catch you. You can shine a light so bright, they'll never keep up. And here's the part that might surprise you: science is proving that you can protect your brain, keep your blood vessels young, and even lower your cancer risk with something so simple. You might not believe me at first. But when you hear the proof, when you understand why it works, you won't just believe, you'll want to start today. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly what this habit is, how it works inside your body, and the real-life changes you can expect. Without wasting your money on expensive supplements or pushing yourself through exhausting, unsafe workouts. And trust me, once you hear it, you'll realize you've had this tool in your hands all along, you just didn't know how powerful it could be. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop the word longevity in the comments if you want to keep your mind sharp, your body strong, and your years ahead full of energy and freedom. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for elderly wisdom tips, because here, we share the small, simple changes that can protect your health, extend your life, and make every year after 60 your best one yet. Let's start with the first and maybe the most life-changing benefit: a sharper memory and a lower risk of dementia. I'll tell you about my neighbor, Mrs. Elaine. She's 68 now, but when she first moved in down the street, she used to laugh about how forgetful she was becoming. She'd lose her keys 3 times a week, put milk in the pantry, and sometimes forget whether she'd already fed the cat. Her kids were starting to worry, and honestly, so was she. Then one day, after talking to her doctor, she decided to commit to this simple daily habit we're talking about. It wasn't fancy, it didn't cost a dime, but she treated it like an appointment she couldn't miss. Fast forward 2 years, and this is the same woman who now beats her grandkids at chess. She remembers the smallest details from conversations, keeps her grocery list in her head without a single note, and even recalls old family recipes without looking at a card. And she swears it all started with that one small daily change. Now, you might be thinking, how can something so simple affect memory like that? The science is fascinating. This habit, when done daily, actually increases the size of your hippocampus. That's the part of your brain responsible for storing and retrieving memories. Think of your hippocampus like a bookshelf. Over time, if it gets smaller, you can't store as many books, and some start falling off. But when you feed it with fresh blood, rich with oxygen and nutrients, that bookshelf actually gets bigger and stronger. And guess what? That means more space for your life stories, your skills, your wisdom. It also boosts blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen that acts like fuel for your neurons, the tiny messengers that carry your thoughts. And here's the kicker: it doesn't just preserve the brain cells you have now. It can actually encourage the growth of new ones, even after 60. Imagine that, your brain creating fresh, healthy cells at an age when most people believe their best mental years are behind them. But here's where a lot of people get it wrong. They think puzzles and brain games are the key to staying sharp. Don't get me wrong, they're helpful. But without proper blood circulation, those mental exercises are like trying to plant seeds in dry soil. Nothing grows. You need movement to get that blood flowing, to deliver the nutrients that make those brain exercises truly effective. So here's my advice: if you want to protect your memory, make this habit a part of your day at a pace that challenges you just enough. A good rule? Walk at a speed where you can still hold a conversation, but you'd have to catch your breath if you tried to sing. That's when you know your body and brain are working in harmony, feeding your mind the oxygen it needs without pushing yourself too hard. And once you start doing this daily, something amazing happens. You stop just fearing memory loss, and start building a brain you can rely on for years to come. Let's talk about something that's on almost everyone's mind, whether we admit it or not: cancer. I once met a retired schoolteacher named Margaret. She was 71, and she'd spent her entire life taking care of others, her students, her family, her neighbors. When she finally retired, she decided it was time to start taking better care of herself. She began this daily habit we've been talking about. Nothing extreme, nothing complicated, just a mindful walk every single day. A year later, she went in for her routine checkup. Her doctor reviewed her test results, looked up at her with surprise, and said, "Margaret, whatever you've been doing, keep doing it." Her inflammation markers were lower. Her immune system was functioning like someone years younger. Her blood work looked so good, it was as if she'd rolled back the clock. So, what was happening inside her body? The science is actually very simple, but incredibly powerful. This daily movement reduces chronic inflammation, which is one of the hidden drivers behind many types of cancer. When your body is in a constant state of low-grade inflammation, it creates an environment where abnormal cells can thrive. Lower the inflammation, and you take away some of that fuel. It also activates something we rarely think about: our lymphatic system. This is like your body's built-in drainage network. It moves waste, toxins, and unwanted materials out of your body. But here's the catch: it doesn't have a pump like your heart. It only works when you move. Without regular movement, that system slows down, and those toxins can linger longer than they should. Over time, that can cause real trouble. Here's where a lot of people go wrong: they think avoiding processed food and eating healthy is enough. Don't get me wrong, diet is important. But even the cleanest diet can't remove certain waste products from your system on its own. You need movement. Consistent, daily movement, to flush them out. It's like rinsing out a sponge. You can't just pour clean water into it, you have to squeeze and release to get the dirt out. And to make this habit even more powerful, here's a small tweak: while you're walking, take a moment every few minutes to focus on deep, intentional breathing. Fill your lungs fully, then let the air out slowly. This simple act helps your lymphatic system move waste even more efficiently. You're not just moving your legs. You're moving the very fluids that protect your cells. So with every step, every breath, you're not just going for a walk, you're cleaning your body from the inside out. You're creating an environment where your cells can thrive, and where disease has a much harder time taking hold. And the best part? You'll feel the difference long before the tests show it. Let's talk about something that keeps us alive every single moment: your heart, and the blood vessels that feed it. There's a man I know named Robert. He's 74, a widower, and when I first met him, he would get winded just climbing the short flight of stairs to his porch. You could see the frustration in his eyes. He used to love hiking with his grandchildren, but lately, even walking around the block felt like a chore. One day, he decided he didn't want to live like that anymore. He started with just 10 minutes of this habit a day. At first, it was slow, careful, deliberate. But every week, he added just a little more. 6 months later, I saw him again, and there he was, smiling ear to ear, telling me about a weekend hiking trip with his grandkids. The same man who struggled with stairs was now walking trails, climbing small hills, and keeping up with children half a century younger than him. So what changed? The science is clear. This daily habit strengthens the endothelium, that's the thin, delicate lining inside your blood vessels. When your endothelium is healthy, your blood flows smoothly, your vessels stay flexible, and your heart doesn't have to work as hard. But when it's weak or damaged, your circulation slows, your blood pressure rises, and your risk for heart disease climbs fast. Walking also keeps your arteries supple. You've probably heard of arteries hardening with age. That stiffness makes it harder for your heart to push blood through your body. But regular, steady movement keeps them flexible, like a well-used garden hose instead of a brittle one left out in the sun. And here's where people often misunderstand heart health. They think that after 60, the best thing to do is take it easy and avoid stress on the heart. But your heart is a muscle. Just like any muscle, if you don't use it, it weakens. Yes, rest is important, but without consistent, gentle challenge, the heart loses its strength. Movement is not a danger to your heart. It's the very thing that keeps it alive and resilient. If you want to give your cardiovascular system an extra boost, try choosing a route with a gentle incline, a small hill, a slight slope, even a few extra stairs. Nothing extreme, just enough to make your heart work a little harder than usual. That small challenge sends a powerful message to your body: stay strong. Stay ready. And here's the beautiful part: every beat your heart makes during that walk is not just pumping blood. It's carrying life to every single cell in your body. It's feeding your brain, your muscles, your skin, even the tiniest tissues you can't see. With each step, you're telling your heart, I need you. I'm giving you a reason to keep going. And when you do that, your heart answers, stronger, steadier, and ready to carry you through the years ahead. Let's move to something just as important as physical health: your mood, your emotional strength, and the way you feel about life each day. There's an incredible woman I know named Ms. Rosa. She's 82, and she'll tell you herself that mornings used to be the hardest part of her day. She'd wake up feeling heavy, not in her body, but in her mind. The house was too quiet. The air felt still. She described it as a fog that sat over her thoughts, making her feel disconnected from the world. One day, her daughter suggested something simple: just a short walk every morning. At first, Ms. Rosa wasn't convinced. How can walking change my mood? She asked. But she gave it a try. And within weeks, she started noticing something different. That fog began to lift. Her mornings felt brighter, her mind clearer, and that loneliness she once felt started to fade. Now, she says her morning walks are the best part of her day. She greets neighbors, notices the way the flowers change with the seasons, and listens to the sound of birds that she never paid attention to before. She says, it's like the world wakes up with me. And the truth is, science can explain exactly why this happens. Walking, especially in a steady, rhythmic way, releases endorphins. These are your body's natural feel-good chemicals, lifting your mood and giving you a gentle, natural sense of joy. At the same time, walking lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that can make you feel anxious or on edge. And there's more. It boosts serotonin, the neurotransmitter that helps regulate your mood, sleep, and even your appetite. So every time you move your body, you're not just exercising your muscles, you're rewiring your brain chemistry in your favor. Here's where many people misunderstand: they think emotional health and physical activity are two separate things. They'll say, I'll deal with my sadness with therapy or friends, and I'll deal with my health at the gym. But your mind and body are deeply connected. When you move, you change the way your brain processes emotions. When your brain chemistry improves, it becomes easier to think positively, to handle stress, and to feel a sense of connection to life. If you want to take this even further, try walking in nature. A park, a quiet path, or even just a tree-lined street can work wonders. Nature has a calming effect on the nervous system. It lowers blood pressure, slows your heart rate, and gives your mind a break from the constant noise of the modern world. And when you combine the chemical boost of walking with the peacefulness of nature, the effect is even more powerful. Imagine starting each day with a lighter heart, a calmer mind, and the kind of resilience that makes life's challenges feel smaller. That's not just possible, it's something you can begin creating tomorrow morning, one step at a time. And now, perhaps the most inspiring benefit of all, longevity and independence. I think of my grandfather when I talk about this. He was not a man of fancy habits or special diets. He didn't belong to a gym. He didn't own a treadmill. But what he did have was consistency. Every single morning, no matter the weather, he'd put on his old walking shoes, step outside, and move. Some days it was slow. Some days it was shorter. But he never skipped. He kept that up until the age of 94. And here's the part that still amazes me, at 94, he still made his own breakfast every morning. He still dressed himself. He still walked to the mailbox. His hands were steady enough to pour coffee without spilling a drop. When you think about what it takes to live that long with that kind of independence, it's tempting to believe it's all about luck or genetics. But the truth is, much of it comes down to choices, small, repeated choices, like moving your body every single day. Science backs this up. Regular walking reduces frailty, that gradual weakening that makes everyday tasks harder and robs people of their independence. It helps maintain muscle tone, so your legs, core, and back stay strong enough to support you. And perhaps most importantly, it strengthens the balance systems in your body, the muscles, joints, and reflexes that keep you upright and prevent falls. Because after 60, a single bad fall can change your life in an instant. And here's something that's often misunderstood: a cane or walker doesn't automatically mean your independence is gone. More often, it's inactivity that steals mobility, not the walking aid itself. I've seen people get stronger after starting to use a cane because they chose to keep moving instead of giving up. If you're starting late, don't feel discouraged. You don't have to walk miles on day one. Start small, 5 minutes, twice a day. Focus on consistency over distance. Over time, those minutes add up. Your legs get stronger. Your steps feel steadier. Your confidence grows. Because here's the truth, independence isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. It's about waking up at 80, 90, or even older and knowing you can still make your own coffee, still open your own door, still take yourself where you want to go. Growing older can feel like watching pieces of yourself slowly slip away. Your speed. Your balance. Your memory. Sometimes even your confidence to move freely in the world. But here's the truth, you are not powerless. Every step you take is a step toward protecting the person you still are, and the person you want to remain. And it doesn't matter how late you start. It doesn't matter if your first walk is slow, short, or awkward. What matters is that you begin. Because motion is the antidote to decline. Instead of fearing illness, you can focus on building health. Not in grand leaps or impossible changes, but day by day. Step by step. Like placing a single brick on the foundation of a stronger, more independent life. And if you think one short walk can't make a difference, remember this: the body responds to movement instantly. Your heart rate adjusts. Your blood vessels open a little wider. Your brain releases chemicals that help you feel calmer, sharper, and more at ease. And when you repeat this daily, those small changes become permanent shifts. So tomorrow, even if the sky is gray, even if the wind bites, put on your coat. Take 5 minutes. Walk. Because in that moment, you're doing far more than moving your legs. You're telling your body, I am still here. I still care. I'm not giving up on myself. You don't need a gym. You don't need expensive gear. You don't even need perfect weather. You just need your legs, your breath, and the will to keep moving forward. Because when you walk, you're not only chasing better health, you're claiming ownership over your future. And that, more than anything, is what keeps life rich, vibrant, and worth living. To recap, this one simple habit, daily mindful walking, is not just a form of exercise. It's a memory booster. It's a shield against certain cancers. It's a way to keep your blood vessels strong, your mood lifted, and your independence intact. It's the quiet medicine you take with your feet, one step at a time. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these benefits would mean the most to you right now? Is it sharper thinking? Better heart health? Or simply the confidence to move through your day without fear of losing your balance? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and your stories might inspire someone else to take their first step, too. If you found this message valuable, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips, where we share practical, science-backed ways to protect your health, keep your independence, and stay joyful after 60. No quick fixes. No unrealistic promises. Just real, doable habits that make a real difference. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, every day you wake up is another chance to keep moving, keep smiling, and keep living with purpose. You are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you believe. So until we meet again, keep walking, keep breathing deep, and keep choosing life, one mindful step at a time. I'll see you in the next video.